Oh my god, this is crazy!
Middleofnowheregaming.com. Everybody go to that website. Say we sent you.
Yeah, get that traffic
I bet they're really good at Minecraft. They're probably the antithesis of us.
This is the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Welcome into episode 77 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Courtney Osborne, and today I'm joined by...
Lou Hip Hop Hands Contaldi.
This is the best I really have.
At least it does better than Bowser last week. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, no, I thought we were doing something Bowser related. I thought you guys were kidding about Hip Hop Hands.
I went back
I'm
and
all offended.
I watched that part of the podcast a few times after that, and I had to show Erica. I was like, you have to see this. This is hilarious. Okay, and then the Destiny demigod, Miles.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
I feel like we've done these before.
Not that one. We definitely did not do that one.
I have no idea what that one would be.
That
Right,
is
it's
Anchorman.
Yep.
Yes, I'm like batting 1,000 on these lately.
Are you having your girlfriend Google these behind the computer?
No, she's busy in a car chase in GTA at the moment.
Oh, okay. I was just like, it looked like you looked past the computer, and then you're like, okay, that's it. Yep. And then went forward with it. Yeah, that's a good one. I like Anchorman. Are you guys Anchorman fans?
I haven't seen Anchorman 2.
I haven't seen Anchorman 2 either. I don't plan on it, actually.
I saw it a little late. I think I saw it like 3 or 4 years after it came out. So by that point, all of the good quotes have already become popular in the media, and nothing really hit me by surprise. I was like, oh, that's where that quote's from.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I really like the quotes in it. I'm not sure how I like the movie on its own.
I mean,
Brick was my favorite character.
Yeah, Brick was mine too. I love Brick. I love Lamp. Do you really love Lamp, Brick? Or are you just saying that? Okay, anyways. If you are on the Twitch stream with us, thank you. If you're not on the Twitch stream and you didn't know that we stream these podcasts, you can go to twitch.tv/MongPlays every Tuesday afternoon at about 2:45 Central Standard Time. PM, not AM. We're not up early in the morning. No, fuck that. Well, I bet Miles is.
I am. I'm about to go to sleep, though.
Yeah. We normally get rolling by about 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we go until 4 or 4:30. So if you want to check out the podcast live, you can be here at that time. Again, it's twitch.tv/MongPlays. We are seeking moderators to join our Twitch streams. So anytime we are streaming the podcast, at the very least the podcast, if you wanted to do it for our other streams, for live streaming games and stuff, you can. But we need some more moderators to help out with the chat for the podcast. So if you would be interested in doing that, tuning in every week and helping out with posting some links and keeping the rowdy racist crowds out of here and stuff like that, let us know. You can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com. Other than that,
Are we going to give a shout out to our current one?
Yes, actually, that's a good idea. We do have one, and I did mention him last week. You will see Octasnake in the chat on every podcast, and he's going to be our one and only moderator until we get any more to join him and help him out. So thank you, Octasnake. I don't know, do you want us to say your real name out loud, or do you want us to just refer to you as that? We hadn't talked about that.
Either way, it's way better than Nightbot. Man, fuck Nightbot.
Nightbot is an asshole. He even tried to ban us from our own chat. So,
Dang, I didn't know that happened.
he tried to ban me because when you type in all caps, he doesn't like that.
Oh.
So he'll be like, whoa, Osborne 2009, you better stop doing that. I'm like, motherfucker, I run this shit. Get out of here.
Sometimes we have to be emotive about how we're talking, and there's very little ways to do that on the internet.
Yeah, and all caps is one way to do it, and sending creepy smiles is another way. But like that, like Miles. Yep. Okay, so if you have been a long-time podcast listener, or if you're a new podcast listener to us, we would appreciate it very much if you could share the podcast with your friends. If you know any friends or family, strangers, classmates, people you've seen on the road with a Super Smash Bros. T-shirt. If you know anyone who might like our podcast, please share it with them. share the website, or just share the RSS link, anything like that. Just send it to them. We would appreciate it very much. And also, if you do enjoy the podcasts, please go to our iTunes page and give us a review. Even if it's a bad one, it doesn't matter. We'll take all feedback. We like to change the podcast, as you have been able to tell probably from the past 10 episodes. We've changed a lot of stuff about what we're doing with the whole live streaming and all of that. And we will continue to change in any way we can to make it a better podcast. And that is one way to do it. Another way... Sorry, go on.
If it's going to be a bad review, make sure it's constructive criticism and you're not just coming in and being like, I hate you guys' hair. Who cut your hair?
I don't have hair. God damn it.
Yeah,
we have
Luke,
to keep going on about hair.
You are like excluding Lou from your criticisms.
Is Lou
I'm not wearing a Fitbit. No, I'm wearing a Nike Fuel Band because I totally got ripped off because I didn't know what a Fitbit was.
Oh.
I don't know what a Fitbit is.
I don't know what it is either.
It's basically a fit tracker. Like it counts my steps. It counts what I do. It is made by Nike, so it's super nice, kind of, compared to the other ones. But on the other end, it computes Nike fuel, and no one else in their right mind is gonna ever count anything by Nike fuel.
Ah. Okay.
So that's the main issue. What I was gonna say is we are the desperate girlfriend who will constantly change everything about themselves to please you.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
Miles is like, I don't know if I like being classified as that.
I don't.
Okay, on to what's happening now. If you've played Life is Strange Episode 2 and you want to listen to our spoiler cast, we have that available. It is up on our iTunes. It's up on anywhere you can get our podcast. It was QuickTime Event Episode 23, and it is also up on our YouTube page, so youtube.com/user/Mong Network. And I highly encourage you to check it out because we couldn't stop talking about it. It went on longer than we expected it to. For like a 2-hour episode of a game, it would surprise you how much you have to talk about. Like, the four of us in there, we could have probably gone on for an hour and a half about that one episode because there was a lot
now
we
it's
didn't
a
get to touch
QuickTime
on.
event. How long was it?
40 minutes.
A 40-minute. Oh wow, extended QuickTime event.
As long as your Nintendo future podcast.
Huh?
Huh? Yeah, extended. You did 2 of them in one episode.
I know, but it's the quick time event.
Exactly. And we did a quick spoiler cast that could have been 2 hours. But anyways, other than that, what's on your guys' playlist?
Ooh.
Mortal Kombat 10 or X when it comes out.
I've been stockpiling games as of late because they're now starting to hit those like bottom barrel prices. Like I picked up Wolfenstein for $10. I picked up
Wolfenstein's good.
Yeah, I heard Wolfenstein's good. It's certainly $10 good, so
yeah.
I'm going to dive into that.
Yeah.
The Evil Within I picked up for some negligible price.
That's another good one.
I'm playing at the moment. I'm really sinking my teeth into Bloodborne when I want to just hate myself. Check out the Bloodborne QTE and to learn why we hate ourselves. And Helldivers. Helldivers is a ton of fun.
Yeah, it is.
I just got into it, and that's a game that Audrey loves to play, and I'd love to play with the audience. So if you guys are ever available, let me know because I want to fucking dive hell.
His PSN name, all of our PSN names, in fact, are on the screen. So if you want to add any of us, they're all up there.
But please, if you do add me, just put like Mong in the description or something in the little caption because I now get like 1 million a day and I don't know what to do with them. But I will accept you.
I was going to say, you should read off your PSN for those who are listening to the MP3.
Oh, sure. My PSN is King Louis Trip. No spaces. King Louis, and then Trip like I'm taking a trip. Or Trip as in third.
Good luck not fucking that up. Miles, so you said Mortal Kombat's on your list, but that doesn't come out for like another, 2 weeks or a week?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I don't know.
Do you want to give the story about what happened last week with your game?
Wait, what happened last week with my game? Oh, it was in Bloodborne?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had gotten Bloodborne because I was really excited, and then I don't know if anyone else knows, but that game's really hard.
What? I've never heard that.
So yeah, I've played Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2, I think, and I enjoy them. But it's like I came to the realization very quickly as into Bloodborne. I was like, huh, I never actually beat a boss in Demon Souls or Dark Souls. So I finally got to the Cleric Beast, and I eventually beat him. And everyone was talking about, hey, it feels so hype. You get so feeling good when you beat the bosses in Bloodborne. That prey slaughter thing pops up. You just feel like you ascended to the 12th level of godhood. I'm just like, I ain't feeling none of that. I just felt really annoyed and tired. And I didn't want to play anymore. So, yeah, so
you gave up?
Yeah, I didn't give up. Like, I'm gonna play every now and then, maybe kill some mobs or go for a boss if I'm like extremely over leveled.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna put much time into it. I'll be honest.
It's not going to be the game you dedicate every day to anymore.
No, it's definitely not. I'll just go out to Destiny if I want to do that.
Right.
Yeah. This past weekend, I came to the realization that when I don't have a game I'm reviewing and I don't have a brand new release game that's pressing me to play it, I am lost, basically, and I don't know what to do. And so I spent the first part of the weekend flirting around with different games. So I played Ori and the Blind Forest a little bit and got to a part that just pissed me off and gave up.
Which part?
It was random part. I don't know. It was just some stupid little puzzle that I couldn't figure out, and I was tired, and so I didn't want to play anymore, so I shut it off. And then I turned on Dust and Elysian Tail, played that a little bit, got to a part that pissed me off, turned that off. Then I was like, all right, I'm going to play Valkyria Chronicles. Since I bought it on Steam last week when it was on sale for like $6. And then I previously played it on PS3, and I gave up on it on a mission where you have to like destroy the tank or something, or stop the forces before they get too close to a gate or something like that before they destroy the gate. And I got to that same mission this weekend and got stuck on it. Tried to play it like 6 times, could not get past it, got pissed off, shut that game off. Played Sonic Adventure 2 for about 10 minutes and loved it just like I did when I was a kid, but I really wasn't feeling it, so I shut that off. I turned on The Witcher 1, tried to get my Xbox One controller to connect with it, and there's no controller support for it, and so you have to download a third-party software to get it to work. And so I did, but it was clunky as fuck when I was playing it. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Turned off The Witcher. And then I was taking a poop, and I was sitting there, and I was like, man, what am I going to play? I was like, you know what? I haven't tried out PlayStation Now yet. I should try that out. I've been really wanting to play Final Fantasy lately, and so I booted up Final Fantasy 13 for a 4-hour rental on PlayStation Now, and holy fuck, have you guys played anything on PlayStation Now yet?
No.
I haven't either. That was the first time, and I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. It was in perfect quality. There was absolutely no input lag. There was nothing. There was nothing at all. It was perfect. I had no issues whatsoever. It never cut out on me. It never skipped. It never did anything. And so I played it for like 30 minutes or so, and then I was like, man, am I really feeling Final Fantasy? Because if I start this, I'm going to have to dedicate 50 or 60 hours to beating this game. And so then I started streaming it for the hell of it, just because why not? And had a few people in there talking about like the lore and stuff of Final Fantasy 13 with me, and they were asking me questions. And by the time like I realized it, I had been playing it for like 3 hours, and I was hooked. It had me hooked. There was no going back, and I immediately rented it for 30 days. And so now I have it for 30 days. And it only cost me like $8 to do. And it's like,
that's not bad.
I don't know if you guys have like a Family Video or Blockbuster or anything like that. It costs you $8 to rent a game for 5 days at one of those places.
Yeah, that's much better.
$8 for a fucking month? Oh, yeah. So I highly recommend it. If you guys want to play a game on PlayStation Now, if you have the internet speed to do it, go do it. It's fucking awesome.
Right. My question would be, do you think that is the speed and the lag response it is because the technology is there, or is it because the service itself isn't popular enough yet? So you have every PS Now server in like the 5-state area just running Final Fantasy for you?
I don't know. I mean, it could be any number of things because I played it the next day as well and had no issues, so it wasn't like it was the day I was playing it or the time. And they do this thing where if you leave it inactive for long enough, it kicks you off so that they can free up server space for other people.
Oh, that's good.
And so if anybody is just sitting there waiting on it, holding the server down, they're going to boot them off. And it did that to me once, and that was... I paused it to go fix something to eat. I don't remember how long it took, but eventually I got kicked off. So, but yeah, I have no idea why it was streaming so well for me. It could be my 30 megabyte download speed. I have no idea, but it was perfect. And it also could be the fact that Final Fantasy 13 isn't the most graphically, enhanced game out there. It is 7 years old by now or something like that. So, but it was. I had a really good experience with it. And I'm looking forward to testing out more with PlayStation Now. I don't know if I would recommend doing the subscription because that's still quite pricey. It's like 3 months is like $45 or something like that. It's like, I don't know if I could do that. But, renting one game at a time, if you know you're going to spend a lot of time with it, then yeah, it's absolutely worth it. But yeah.
I guess it matters the type of game that you're getting.
Yeah. And I was also surprised with how many games were on the list. There were a shitload of games on there. Like, I was like, oh, I'm going to scroll down alphabetically and find Final Fantasy 13 in like an instant. No, it took quite a while to get down to the Fs. So there were quite a few games. But before we move on, those of you who are watching the live stream, or if you're watching it on YouTube after the fact, you'll notice that we had a trivia question up at the top of the screen last week, and we do this week as well. Last week we asked, what was the first game you ever played, and all of our answers were up there. Do you want to recap that real quick for those who are listening on MP3?
Sure. Last week, I believe my answer was Mortal Kombat 2.
Yep. Lou?
And
my first game was Super Mario Land, I think. It was the Game Boy Advance game, the 6 golden coins or whatever it was. I don't remember that well. I was like 3 when I played it, so give me a break.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, mine was Mario. Like, it's hard for a kid born in the 90s not to play Mario first, Yeah. Most families had a Nintendo or Super Nintendo and kids were able to play that first. But this week's question is, if you could live in one video game world, which would it be? Now, out of these, I think Miles has the most interesting of the answers. Miles, where would you live? What video game world?
I would not live in any video game world because my friends and I have talked about this, and it's like any world that has fantastical things, you think it's awesome, you think you might get there, you're going to be like the questing hero or like a god or something.
Like a god.
But no. Yeah, it's like, if you really think about it, your chances are so much higher to be like a poor peasant who gets stomped on by the evil dudes all the time, or like a normal person in like a superhero world who ends up getting killed by the supervillains constantly. The chances are too high that you're going to be something crappy.
What about Destiny? You'd be a guardian. Everyone has to be a fucking guardian.
So I'm a guardian, so I get to get killed by Crota. I mean, that doesn't sound fun.
But you could be the flawless raider.
And you're dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much.
You're dead, but they can feel pain. I'm not happy with that.
Now, Lou, where would you live?
I'm going with the nice, easy answer. I'm going with Pokemon.
Why is that?
Because no one there needs a job, apparently. Like, it is the most commitment-freeless area where you just, the dad just randomly walks out on the mom and the kid, and no one seems to bat an eye. He's a gym leader somewhere or trying to be the best Pokemon trainer, and like these kids just wander off in the middle of nowhere. The parents just drop the kids off.
12-year-olds.
12-year-olds, yeah. So
is it 10 or is it 12?
I forget. It's like 5th grade. Fifth graders. You're just letting them walk off and do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, you're gonna be a trainer. Take the sandwich and go on.
But what about like the trainers that go out into the woods and die? That's how they make Missing Nose and like some of the ghost Pokemon.
I just don't go in the woods. That's your problem.
This is Vermilion Forest. I think I'm going to go around. I'm going to go.
I literally cannot walk outside of the tall grass, so I could just, bring a lawnmower or something. It's really easy if I don't want to face them.
Just killing Rattata by accident.
And now I actually was going to say Pokemon as mine too, and when Lou chose it, I decided to change mine. But I've always said that would be fucking kick-ass to have your own Pokemon. That'd be so cool. But I've always said that I wanted to live in a world where there was zombies. Always said that. I've always been like, a zombie apocalypse would be fucking awesome. It would be exciting. You know, a lot of the stupid people would finally die. I think it would be exhilarating. I think that in the world we live in now, if it had happened soon or if it happened, recently, I have enough knowledge about zombies that I feel like I could survive. And if not, then, okay, whatever. But that's no more real chance that I'm going to die in a zombie world than I'm going to get hit by somebody out there, fucking some drunk driver or something, Like, the chances of dying is always going to be there. And so I was like, okay, I need to pick a zombie game, and why not pick my favorite game of all time? And so I went with The Last of Us. So yeah. That's the reason why I chose The Last of Us. I know, I believe it was Jason up right when we started the podcast in the chat. He was like, "Why the hell would you want to live in The Last of Us?"
I agree. That's awful.
I have to agree as well.
So yeah, I know I'm a strange one. I would love a zombie apocalypse, and I know there are people out there like me that just feel like it would be awesome, and it would mean that I wouldn't have to have some fucking stupid desk job. I mean. Right. That's one way of looking at it. I wouldn't have to fucking push papers. I wouldn't have to do anything stupid. And I could just survive and hunt and, yeah.
Have your
And to be
daughter
fair,
get killed at the very beginning.
And have my daughter killed at the very beginning.
I think The Last of Us's zombies are probably the most easy to deal with out of many games I've played. Like, I wouldn't want to deal with Dying Light zombies.
Oh, no.
No,
Especially without the Dying Light abilities. Like, I know I cannot jump that length or
yeah.
that height. So I think if I had to pick one, it seems like I could deal maybe with the Last of Us ones. Possibly The Walking Dead. We'll see.
No, The Last of Us, the only issue is the runners and stuff. Like, those ones are the scary ones. Like, you could deal with the clickers, probably. You could deal with the bloaters, stuff like that. But the fucking runners, when they just fucking chase you with no regard for their own life and just try to bite you and rip you apart, like, those guys, I would be fucking scared of those ones. Those are like 28 Days Later shit. And that movie's awesome, by the way.
It is.
But I think we've blabbed long enough without going into
that's
the
a long
news.
intro.
This is a super long intro. Let's move on to the news from nowhere.
News from nowhere!
Kick it off, Lou.
All right. So starting off with the first of how many?
Chia.
8. So
Did you get
first
that?
of 8. The Legend of Zelda Wii U has possibly been delayed. And by that, you could read that as definitely been delayed. News comes by way of Mr. Onuma, who is the lead producer, designer of Zelda games and has been for a very long time. He said in a video to fans, I must apologize to you all that were expecting the game by year's end, but we're no longer making a 2015 release our number one priority. Instead, our priority is to make it the most complete and ultimate Zelda game.
Yeah.
At least they, as we always say, delays aren't bad, so this is good.
Yeah, this is one of my predictions for the year when we made our predictions at the beginning. This is just, like I said at the beginning, we haven't seen enough about this game. It just felt like it was not anywhere soon. I know it was the end of last year, and I kept saying over and over, Uncharted's going to be delayed and Zelda's going to be delayed. Like, those are the two big ones. They didn't feel like they were coming out anytime soon, especially not within a year. And this announcement, while it doesn't technically say the game is delayed, it basically does. Like, in every way it can say that without actually saying it, it says it. Because, like, they said that they discovered a bunch of new possibilities and stuff, and they want to explore every possibility they can and make sure it's the best Zelda game they can possibly make. And it's like, okay, you're actually making it sound like it's 3 years away and not a year away. Like, you seem like it's going to come out in a while.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think this game's going to be coming out anytime before next fall now, the 2016, and that's
Absolutely.
Probably the earliest. That's probably the earliest.
Yeah, and I think the big reason for this, and I didn't say this in the news story, is they further went on to say that it wasn't going to be shown at E3 at all.
Yep.
So, like, not having a teaser trailer, not having anything. And if it's not there at E3, then it means it has to be at the next E3. If it's at the next E3 at the earliest, then, chances are we'll probably see it in fall.
Yeah.
Now, you know what the absolute truth about this is? they're actually delaying it so that they can improve the horse physics. They're putting all their eggs in the horse basket. This horse is gonna like jump over mountains and be able to kill bosses for you.
And it will still not run into trees.
No, they've
It won't
realized,
run
in
into
fact, that horses at times may possibly run into trees to get an apple or something. So they had to go back and change everything they knew about the game.
You had to
The
add an animation where fucking Link fell off the horse, you know, like where it runs into it and falls off. But yeah, this is gonna make the game better. Honestly, like the game already looked good, but if they're now discovering open world additions, like things you can add to an open world game like this, then you want them to make sure they have everything ready. Like you don't want them to push out a game and it be absolutely shit. Like we've played some really bad open world games in the past, and we don't want that. We want this one to be like a Fallout, like a Elder Scrolls, like one of the open world games that everyone loves. And if they can add that sort of side quest system into it where you wander into an area and a side quest pops up, like if they can really nail that with different dungeons located in different places where not everybody is going to find that dungeon because they didn't go to that place. Like if they go and add that depth to this Zelda game, it's has a chance of being one of the best ever. So, and I'm excited about that.
Right. And one more thing that I want to add is we saw a little bit of video footage from this at the Video Game Awards, or right afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Or was it at it?
Yeah.
Either way, you got to imagine that is like, that's got to be the alpha footage of it. If they're still like maybe possibly a year and a half, 2 years out, that is what the game looks like right now in alpha. And that game looks more fleshed out than most games are at that stage. And it looked beautiful. Like I would have purchased it at that spot if I could have, you know, even though it was devoid of most life. So I can't imagine what it's going to look like 2 years from now.
Yeah, it's got to be better, and I don't know. I'm excited. I feel like I have cursed the biggest games coming out this year, because when I wrote the 2015 release schedule story for our website, the 3 pictures at the top were Legend of Zelda Wii U, Uncharted 4, and Halo 5, and 2 of those are now delayed. One of those are not delayed, but I'm just like, I tweeted at like Ryan McCaffrey at IGN, and he was like, "Oh, you know, it's Microsoft's to win now. Like, you know, they can't lose it. Blah blah blah." I was like, "Dude, I fucking cursed them. Halo's not coming out this year." And like, I tweeted my picture at him, and somebody replied with this like really, really like thoughtful tweet about how Halo was absolutely coming out this. I was like, "I'm fucking joking, dude. Like, get in your panties up in a fucking bunch." Like, I was not being serious about that.
No, they're gonna delay it after it releases, so they're just gonna come to your house and take it out of your console.
Yeah.
And break it.
So
they're gonna be like, you can't have this.
Speaking of Halo 5, Miles?
Yeah. So Halo 5 Guardians finally has a release date. I know everyone's been waiting for that. The quote, "The Master Chief returns October 27th," was something that the Xbox team tweeted out recently. The announcement coincided with the release of 2 teaser trailers and a new Twitter hashtag, which is Hunt the Truth. Okay. And one teaser. What?
I know what that is.
I was going to say, it makes more sense now that we've seen the teasers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Continue the story, and then we'll talk.
One teaser trailer shows Master Chief hunting down Spartan Locke. Well, is it really a hunt at that point? Because they're kind of like shot up and like on the ground. And then the other one shows the situation from Hunter Locke's, Spartan Locke's point of view, where he's got Master Chief. There's like holes in him, and et cetera, et cetera. So.
Basically the same thing, but from each person's point of view, doing the hunting.
So
go on.
I'm excited. I mean, if they have a campaign that lets you play as a Hunter. I'm just gonna keep calling him Hunter Locke, as Hunter Locke or Master Chief. I mean, 2 campaigns for the price of 1. That sounds pretty good. And has anyone else seen the Nightfall movie that came out last year that like gave, I guess, information on Locke?
No,
okay,
I didn't watch it.
I have it downloaded.
I heard it wasn't very good. That was the new Halo live series, right? The newest one or whatever. Yeah, I heard that the first episode was okay, but after that, they were just like nobody cared about it or whatever. Is it that series or was that a movie?
I think it was a series that like you can watch it like a movie or something like that.
Yeah, I'm excited about Halo 5. I've been a long time Halo fan. I've been playing since Halo 2. I find this an interesting release date. I don't think Halo's ever launched in October. I think it's always been September or November. And even more so interesting that the last week of October is always Assassin's Creed week, except for this past year when Unity got delayed until when Rogue was coming out. But I don't know. I'm intrigued by what they're doing with the story because I am one of the people who argue that Halo's story is very, very bland. That it's got an okay overarching story, like it's continuing story, but like the moment-to-moment Master Chief destroying thousands of alien life forms, like there was nothing really there for me to latch on to. So the fact that there's this mystery with Locke and they're hunting each other and there's something going on, like all of that makes me think that this may be the best Halo story we've ever seen. Halo 4 was getting closer to that with the whole Cortana thing, but so I'm pretty excited about this, and I know they're going to nail the multiplayer, so like there's no question there.
I just wanted to highlight the Hunt the Truth bit. I don't know if everyone's been following that, but this relates to that countdown site that we saw for Halo.
Yep.
Where it's the viral marketing / alternate reality game. If you remember, for Infamous, they did Infamous Paper Trail.
Yep.
Yeah, though... that said, Halo's been doing it from the beginning. They're one of the very first major ARG people. There was one for the first Halo, there was one for the second Halo, and these are huge campaigns. I think this one is an investigative report, kind of along the lines a bit of Serial, if you follow the Serial podcast. But it looks really interesting, actually. I might get back into Master Chief Collection because I kind of just dropped that as soon as it didn't work from the beginning. And I might start playing that again and catch up the story.
If you want to co-op the story like this summer or something, I would totally be down for doing that. I would love, like, as much as I dislike the story, it's so much better when you're playing with a friend, at least.
Right, I was going to say the story.
Yeah, exactly.
So the campaign.
So yeah,
I think like in terms of Halo, if you really want to get like the good parts of the story, and this is kind of horrible, you have to it's also like Destiny. You have to like go outside of the game because like apparently I spoke to like one of my friends who was just crazy about the Halo series, and the stories from the books and stuff are very, very, very interesting because apparently like the human race was in a massive war before like the Stone Age actually, and the Prometheans essentially took the human race's technology and everything, and they were like, "You're not ready for this," and like kicked us back to the Stone Age. So we had to restart everything essentially. And he told me that, and I was just like, "Whoa."
That's a little bit better sounding. Yeah, aren't there like some really good Star Wars books also that like tell more about the universe and stuff than the movies do? So,
but those aren't canon anymore. Thanks, Disney.
True. I forgot about that. Oh, man. Yeah. So anyways, for now, Halo 5 is set to launch in October, on the 27th. But
the truth.
If you
speaking of other release dates.
Speaking of other release dates, you remember how was it last week? Dragon Age Inquisition: The Jaws of Hacken DLC launched on Xbox One and PC, and not on anything else. Well, that's people were reaching out to. Was it BioWare?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just like totally lost it because we don't actually have it listed on there. Normally I read that stuff. People have been reaching out to BioWare trying to figure out the release date, and they commented that they couldn't give a release date for it. But that has since been updated, and they announced on their Twitter account that the DLC will arrive on all platforms, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 in May. Specific release date was not announced, but the month was. So anybody who wants to play that DLC, it will be available in May for everybody else, other than the people who already have it on Xbox One and PC.
Right. That kind of seemed weird to me.
Yeah, it was a really weird situation because it wasn't announced as like, unless I missed it, it wasn't announced as like an Xbox One exclusive DLC, timed exclusive or anything otherwise, right?
Which most likely, it was probably a deal that they worked out because it's kind of like the deal that Dragon Age Inquisition was free for a weekend.
What were you going to say, Miles?
I was going to say I heard I don't know if it was in Jack Felling, I think is his name. I don't know if it was in his tweet, but somewhere it was reported that it was an exclusivity thing, and that's, although I don't understand how Xbox One and PC got it, but they left out Xbox 360 in an exclusivity contract. So I don't know how much truth that holds, because it seems weird that they just be like, yeah, screw our older system, forget that.
Yeah, and it's like a 6 to 8 week delay somewhere in there. So it's not like it's a huge exclusive deal. I certainly was not ready to jump back into Dragon Age right now.
Right.
So it's not like it's hurting me. I know there are other people who are playing it now for the first time, other people who will continue to playing it for hundreds of hours into the future, but I put 120 plus hours into it in November and December, and I burnt out on it. I don't want to go back yet. I'm waiting.
Right.
But it does kind of suck that at the same time this launches, The Witcher 3 is also going to launch.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's it'll probably be even longer before I play this DLC.
Right. Well, it was either that or Bloodborne, and I'm sure that both are giant topics.
Yeah.
Like, even I know a lot of people aren't going to stick with Bloodborne. It might just be like a weak flash thing. But even if that's the case, Bloodborne was on everyone's lips.
Yep.
That said, yeah, I don't know why they did this. This seems like a very odd move, because no one, like, the fun part of exclusives, especially exclusives to, you know, big title games, is you announce it beforehand, you announce it to try and sell the game. This they kind of just dropped, and it's not really a bragging point at this point to say, you know, the Dragon Age Inquisition is exclusive to the DLC is exclusive to Xbox consoles. No one's out there going to buy an Xbox One solely for the Hacken DLC.
Yeah, the point you're drilling at right there is related basically to Call of Duty. Call of Duty every year, DLC first on Xbox. It's like you get it almost a month, sometimes 2 months in advance before PlayStation consoles. And it's just like, that is a selling point. But that's a selling point they harp on all year before the release.
Right.
And it's like this, like you said, this was just like dropped, and yep, it's only on Xbox and PC. It's like, wait, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, it was so weird.
I don't know. The only good thing, like, I can see a good point of this is, like, for me, who's been burned on DLC before, because either I buy it and then never play it or something, since I'm on a PS4, I'm actually one of the privileged few who gets to watch the preview of it, because, you know, there's streamers who are out there playing it right now, and I can see if I actually want to pick it up or not.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, if someone's looking for the silver lining on this, you know, crap-colored cloud, there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Story number 4. This is a really awesome story.
Yes.
Rocksteady has revealed a limited edition Batman Arkham Knight PlayStation 4 bundle on the PlayStation blog. The special bundle will be available for $450 and will include the limited edition steel gray PS4 system chassis with a custom Batman Arkham Knight faceplate, a matching DualShock 4 wireless controller in steel gray, and the explosive finale to the award-winning Arkham trilogy, Batman Arkham Knight. In addition to the limited edition bundle, there will also be a Batman Arkham Knight PS4 bundle available for $400. This will include a PS4 system with a DualShock 4 controller and a jet black and Batman Arkham Knight. So you could basically buy a brand new PS4 with a free game, it being Batman Arkham Knight, or you could buy a brand new PS4 for $50 extra that is the custom gray controller and console with the faceplate and the free game. And
It's so beautiful.
if I didn't already have a PS4, man, oh my god, I nearly shit myself this morning. Like, when I saw that, oh my god, the things I would do to get this console. It's like, you tell me, just tell me who I have to kill. Tell me who I have to sleep with. Tell me who I have, I will do anything. I will slip somebody some money. Like, give me this console. Like,
Yeah, you could just slip GameStop $400. That's how you get the console.
Yeah, $450.
Okay.
Oh man.
Octosnake, can you go and post a photo real quick on the chat for those who haven't seen it?
Black console with the white Destiny. Oh yeah. See, that's what that's
got you.
the
I got
one
it.
reason
I got it.
why I don't want to just go ahead and buy the console now is that it would take forever to switch everything over. Like, I would have to download all my games again. I have to transfer all my saves again. Like, it seems like too much of a hassle. Honestly, I could sell my PS4 and I could make a certain amount out of it, $300 plus out of it. Right. And that would pay off most of it. But that would still be an extra $150 I'm spending on another PS4, which would essentially make my first PS4 I bought like $550 or more than that, depending on how much I sell. So it's just like, man, if I was fucking rich.
I'm like, I appreciate what they've done here, but I don't know. I don't really feel the same about the console. It's like, it looks clean, I guess, but it's not enough for me. I really like the controller, though. I will probably end up, once I get a job and have steady income, I will probably end up paying the like $100 I'm gonna have to just get the controller.
That controller is nice.
That is a nice controller.
It's hopefully really nice.
Hopefully they sell that separately, just as a silver controller. I would definitely think of getting this, but I just went out and purchased the Bloodborne faceplate. So I feel like by now I've already made my custom choice on how I want my PS4 to look until something else comes along.
Has that come in yet?
No, it's coming tomorrow.
I can't wait to see that. You'll have to show that off on the podcast next week.
I definitely will. Today, this was my major purchase, so.
Nice. All right, let's move on.
All right, sounds good.
Moving on, story number 5. A Nintendo Direct is scheduled for April 1st, a.k.a. tomorrow, a.k.a. today if you're listening to it tomorrow.
A.k.a. in the past if you're listening to it next week.
It's going to look at the company's latest upcoming releases on Wii U and 3DS. The official Nintendo of America Twitter account sent out details that the latest Nintendo Direct will take place tomorrow. Once again, whenever your April 1st is. After the presentation, Nintendo also mentioned that a Nintendo Treehouse presentation will also take place featuring one of the spring releases. What do you think it's going to be?
I am not shitting you if this is not the Pokemon crossover game between Wii U and 3DS that we talked about. I'm going to cry and just give up on Nintendo.
I already gave up on Nintendo.
I'm still hoping on the Metroid. It's been a long time for Metroid, and I want the Metroid, and I already lost one prediction for Nintendo, so I need the Metroid one.
Did you predict opposite of me that Zelda would
did.
launch? Oh!
I had a 5th one too, which really sucks, but as soon as you said that, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I am dropping my prediction. I'm going to say the opposite of what Courtney said. It is absolutely coming out 2015.
Okay, so you're hopeful that it's Metroid. I'm hopeful that it's Pokemon. Miles, do you have any expectations?
I mean, like I always say, if they want my money, they need to give me something innovative with Pokemon. So that's all I got to say.
It's gonna
give me Pokemon or give me freedom.
I think it's going to be Star Fox. Legitimately, like if I had to...
Probably.
If we're having the bracket race and you have your dream bracket and your realistic bracket, I see Woolly World and... Did Woolly World come out?
No. Still not out.
Yeah, that's weird. I see Woolly World and Star Fox being mentioned, and that's going to be the big thing.
Yeah, a lot like Nintendo, after announcing the mobile acquisition thing, their partnership, how they immediately followed that up with, we're still working on consoles, don't worry about that. It kind of, if you are correct on this, that would almost feel like... since they just delayed Zelda, they're going to follow it up with, Star Fox is still coming, guys. Don't worry. We've got this shit. We're going to have something out for you. Don't worry. Feels like every time they have bad news or interesting, scary news that people could be worried about, they follow it up with something that gets people a little bit excited again. Though I'm not sure if Star Fox will do that for the people who really want Zelda.
Right. So moving on to what's coming up in the next month.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, April's PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection lineup has been revealed.
What?
For PS4 and PS3, they'll be dropping a... I'm going to go by title, so this is... Never mind. Tower of Guns is going to come for PS4 and PS3. And a game that needs little introduction. Why? Because it's a tower filled with guns. Over the top in all of the right ways. Try to survive this tower with random enemies, bosses, power-ups, and a boatload of bullets. That sounds like a roguelike.
I want to preface this by saying that these are Ryan Clement's words. So anything you read here was what he wrote on the PlayStation blog.
Indeed.
So, go ahead.
All right, Never Alone for the PS4 also. This beautiful puzzle adventure tasks you with guiding Nuna, a native Alaskan girl, through breathtaking environments to save her village. Also, you get to travel with a fox. Can't get much better than a pet fox. What about a pet dinosaur?
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Left one out.
For PS3, you guys get Dishonored. Players take control of Corvo Atano. Yeah, Atano, a bodyguard framed for murder and imbued with powerful abilities to seek revenge. The game is all about player choice and feeling awesome while executing extreme stealth maneuvers.
feeling awesome.
For the record, I thought when you read it originally, I wasn't looking at the list of what was coming up, and I kind of slipped my mind. But you're like, for PlayStation 3 players, you're getting Dishonored. I was like, oh, Dishonored upon PlayStation 3 players, what are they getting?
This is a game I haven't even heard of before. Aru's Awakening. Aru's, don't know how to pronounce that. For PS4 and PS3. What started as a school project for a team of students in Iceland is now a gorgeous platformer about... okay, I saw that as navigating treacherous terrain and with well-timed teleports. Okay, so a platformer, sounds like. For PS Vita, you're looking at Killzone Mercenary. View the iconic war against the Hellgas from a mercenary's point of view, and jump into a robust multiplayer mode to show how good, or bad, you actually are. I heard very good things about that title.
Yeah. I heard a lot of really good things, so I ended up purchasing on one of the sales and got it for $5. So, and then,
nice.
Yeah.
Right. Last title, and this one's coming for PS Vita, is Monster Bag, an adorable puzzle game about a bag-shaped monster named V trying to reach his friend Nia without scaring the pants off of people. Okay, may or may not include a battle of wits, skill, and inevitable apocalypse. That sounds horrible.
Okay, so what do you guys think about this month's or next month's PlayStation Plus games?
I think it's a generally good list. It's nothing. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing fantastic, but it's certainly good. There's a lot of games on there I haven't played. There's a lot of games that I want to get to. Like, I might actually boot up my PS3 and play Dishonored.
Yeah.
I never got to that. PS4 is a little dry, but I was gonna eventually buy Never Alone. So.
Yep.
If Tower of Guns is the roguelike it sounds like, then I'll probably get into it because I've realized I'm a sucker for roguelike.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, me too. Now, the only game on here that I've actually played is Dishonored, and I have the physical copy of it. So now I could sell that and get it like $10 or something because I will have a free digital copy. But yeah, I've never heard of Tower of Guns before, so I'm interested to get that for free. Never Alone was a game I was really excited about. Our review wasn't. It was basically said the game was okay. Fell short on a few areas that could have done really great things with, but it's a game everybody should experience, and so the fact that it's free now for us is awesome because now I will get to experience it, and I won't have to have that added like, oh well, I paid $15 for this and it wasn't any good or something, like if I happen to not like it or something, because obviously everybody has different reactions. I have Killzone Mercenary digital, like I just said a little bit ago. And I've never heard of Aru's Awakening either, or Monster Bag, so it'll be interesting to get those. But overall, this month is a very average month, which is interesting because this month is the better of the 2 months for the Spring Fever sale, because it's got Shovel Knight and Bastion. So like those two, like really excited about those.
Can't wait for Bastion.
Yeah, I'm so excited about him. Oh man, that's those. You know, if those were on here, either one of those would have made this list amazing. Just adding one of those to it. So, like, the fact that they're still coming out in April means that there's still good games coming. That we're just not getting those good games for free. So it's an average list to me.
Yeah.
Right.
However, that being said, I find the next one a little bit even more average. So in the past week,
average is being super nice about the next list.
The past week, we've also had April's Xbox One games with gold lineup revealed. Now, everybody has been fucking super excited about this because it is their celebration, Games with Gold, where they hit some milestones and they were super excited because they're gonna double the games this month because of that. However, the games that they doubled it with are not the kind of games that everyone's going to get super excited about. Now, there are going to be some people who love these games. Granted, there are going to be people who love this month for Xbox One, just like there are going to be people who love PlayStation Plus. However, that's not the case for most people. So, for Xbox One, the 2 games will include the Pool Simulator, Pool Nation FX, which boasts realistic lighting and physics as well as online matches with customizable rules. Then they will get the Ubisoft Adventure RPG Child of Light. So if you haven't already fucking played that game, you can get it now. Follow Aurora as she must travel through the Kingdom of Lemuria in order to come home. These games will be available all month long. They're not going to be split up, so if you want them at any time, make sure you have gold membership and then you can get them. Then on Xbox 360, you'll get 4 games. Miles is already yawning at this list. 4 games on Xbox 360. So for the first half of April, between April 1st and April 15th, you'll be able to get Gears of War Judgment, as well as Terraria, or Terraria. Do you guys know how to pronounce that? I asked that in the chat.
I think it's Terraria.
Everybody was confused in the chat too. So, anyways, it's like a 2D version of Minecraft, I guess. I've seen the title before. I've never played it. I've never actually seen a video on it or anything like that. But whatever. So those are the first half. Then the second half of April, which is April 16th to the 30th. Is it 30 days in April?
Yeah. March, April. Yep.
30. Okay. So 30 days, you'll be able to get Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel. I was never interested in the Army of Two games. I had a few friends that liked them, and they tried to get me into it, and I just was like, this is just another shooter, another army shooter game. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. It just never appealed to me. I will say that Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is the second best Assassin's Creed game in the series. So, like, and that's behind Assassin's Creed 2. So, that is a really, really, really good game, Assassin's Creed 4. However, the fact that you have to get it on 360 sucks ass. Why not just fucking make it available for Xbox One also, Microsoft? Come on. Like, you've been giving away the physical fucking copies and download codes with anybody who buys a fucking Xbox One for the past year and a half. Why not just make that available?
Right.
That's probably why, though. They're like, oh, well, anybody who has an Xbox One, we've already given it to them for free.
I'm that person who really wants one. That really sucks for me because I still haven't played Assassin's Creed 4. I know it's eventually coming.
Yeah.
That it's going to be one of these free games that I get. So I don't want to go out and spend the $15 on it. But,
it's so
good. I saw it, and I got all happy for a minute because I thought that it was PlayStation and it was cross-buy because that's how it is, but apparently not. So
not with Microsoft.
Not with Microsoft. I'm upset just because I don't have a 360. If you have a 360 and you haven't played those games and you don't feel like raiding a bargain bucket over at GameStop, then those are all great picks.
Yeah. So overall, Miles?
For once, I actually have opinions on, one of the lesser consoles of this generation.
God.
So Pool Nation, yeah, that's kind of poop water. No one wants that. Child of Light, at least that's good. I think we can all agree on that. Maybe
we can all agree that's a good game.
It's a very good game.
Yeah, Child of Light. So that's at least one good thing. Although, yeah, I guess people who wanted it already have it, but I don't know. There might be some people out there who are like, I couldn't pay for it, or I just wasn't so sure about it. Like if I had Xbox One, I'd download it because I haven't played through the whole thing yet.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Was it a PlayStation Plus?
No,
I don't think it's ever been PlayStation Plus.
Oh no, yeah. Do you know what? I just got it really cheap on some flash.
Yeah, it's been on sales.
There you go. In terms of Gears of War, I didn't hear good things about Gears of War Judgment, so
I'm pretty sure Gears of War Judgment won our Xbox 360 Game of the Year the first year we were a website, and the only reason it did was because it was the only Xbox 360 exclusive game.
Oh, okay.
So that was the year they gave up on Xbox 360 and put all hands in on Xbox One. And so, yeah, I've heard okay things about it, but for the most part, people didn't care.
Right.
All right. Terraria, I've heard very good things about. I know my friends used to love playing that game. And honestly, I was watching some streamers play it. I was like, if this was cheaper and I had people to play with, I would definitely want to jump in. Assassin's Creed, I hate that series, so that's all I'm going to say on that. And Army of Two, I don't know. Did when your friends tried to get you into it, did they actually play with you?
No, they tried to make me play it with them, and I watched them, and I was just like, I don't want to play this. But that was that was in high school, so almost a decade ago.
I know, like, one time me and my friend just picked up the first Army of Two just off the cuff because it was like, we need something to play, we need something that's local co-op, and we have like $10 between the two of us, so let's get this. And that game was a lot of fun. That's also because I really like customization, and you can import your own masks, so I was looking like Iron Man and the Hulk and Thor and stuff. And I really enjoy co-op, so that, I don't know, if you're into co-op, this is good for free.
Yeah. If you still have a 360.
That is also a very big part.
And you're not on
360.
Not on your 8th one after 7 red rings, or...
Yeah. I'm sorry if you're still just using a 360.
Gosh, yeah, I sold
That's
mine.
awful.
All right, so move on to the last story.
Right. Last piece of news is that Freedom Wars could get a sequel if fans are vocal about it enough. Yay, be vocal. When talking to Japanese publication Famitsu after a fan event, Freedom Wars producer Junichi Yoshizawa was asked about whether the team would be bringing back the cast in another installment. And to quote, "Whether or not we can make a sequel cannot be decided by my intentions alone, but in the end, it's important for players to speak up so we can know if the demand exists or not. We've had a lot of supportive people at the event, and for that, I was very happy." So,
this is really interesting news. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it because, okay, first and foremost, I am a Freedom Wars fan. I played the shit out of it for a good 2 or 3 weeks there, beat the game. It was really exciting. I really liked it, and I really want a sequel to know where the story goes.
Right.
But when a publisher comes out and asks for fan support and it's like, well, we'll only give it to you if you demand it. Like, you have to have enough people demanding it. It's like one of those, we need you to sign a petition with at least 3 million people on the list in order for us to do it. Like, I don't know, that just feels so weird. Like, there are so many people who were hardcore about Freedom Wars and would love a sequel, and if they don't already see that, then I don't know what more they need. It's like, I equate this to, it's similar to the Digimon series right now. There are a few Digimon games that have come out in the past few years that have not been localized. But there are an extremely high amount of people who want them localized, and they've all signed petitions, including myself. I've signed the petitions because I want those fucking games to come over here. And for some reason, Bandai Namco just doesn't see that, and they won't acknowledge it. And it's just like, you guys, they say we'll bring it if you have enough. And we're like, okay, well, we've quadrupled the signatures in the past 3 months. Like, we're up to tens of thousands, and now, it's like we are getting there. Like, I don't know. It's a really weird thing. Really weird thing.
I understand his logic because it's like all those signatures may mean that someone wants it, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be like all the people that buy it. Yeah, so it's like it's a shame that happens, but I can understand people getting gun shy because it's like, yeah, we have this petition for like 30 million people signing it, but we only sold like 10,000 copies. But I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want to see another Freedom Wars because although I didn't beat it, I greatly enjoyed the time I spent with it. Yeah. And especially if they put it on PS4,
I was gonna say
that like Monster Hunter experience on PS4, I will be so happy, and I will definitely buy it. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really weird world we're living in now with video games because it's things like this where we need petitions or we need so many people to say things, like building the list. We need enough people to do that.
I think Kickstarters are weird.
That's where I was going with it next. Or having Kickstarters where we need $3 million or this game's not getting made. It's just like,
buy the game,
what the fuck?
Before we have it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the world we live in right now is currently really, really weird where things like this are possible. And it's not just a company saying, we're going to make this game, and if you don't buy it, we're never making another one. Like, it's so weird. This is something we're not used to. Something new.
In terms of Kickstarters, like, I understand the negatives and positives. Like, it's a beautiful thing when like a really small company gets the funding they need and they get to make a game that turns out to be like just mind-blowingly amazing. But I can also understand that, like, when for my best example, when Peter Molyneux, if you all heard about that, did the whole funding thing for Godus, or I think that was Godus, and he like just completely shafted that one guy who like was supposed to like get a tour of the studio, was supposed to meet him and hang out for a day. He like promised all this stuff, and then it never happened because he Molyneuxed him. And it was just like, oh man, that's really cringeworthy, and I'm sorry you wasted your money, but because he didn't give the money back either. So it's like,
yep. I mean, it's cool when we see games like Shovel Knight or what's the PC game? Part 2 and Part 1 that's coming out next month.
Broken Age.
Broken Age. Games like
Broken
those
Age.
two launch. It's really cool to see those when they actually launch and they're successful. But we've seen so many games just disappear. And
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck happened? But whatever.
I mean, hopefully we will see another Freedom Wars.
Yeah.
If you're listening to me right now, Mr. Junichi Yoshizawa, make another Freedom Wars. I'll
We
buy
support
one copy of it.
Yes. The MONG Podcast supports Freedom Wars 2. So bring the
On
sequel.
PS4.
On PS4.
On
And
PS4.
Vita. Make it,
And
make
Vita.
like, what's the game that come out this week? Tugiden. Kiwami. It's out on both Vita and PS4.
Great.
And it's a
Crossbow.
very,
That's awesome.
and it's a very big game. So, and, I mean, like, they could totally do that.
Yep.
All right. So that wraps up the news from nowhere. We're going to move into the listener questions section. So after the 30-second delay between the stream and the chat catches up, you'll be hearing this. So if you have any questions, now is the time to submit it. We will answer as many as we can before we have to start wrapping up because Lou will have to go here in 20 minutes or so.
Always.
But until you guys start sending us a few questions, we do have a few questions that were submitted ahead of time at our or through our email, which is contact.mong@gmail.com. You can submit questions there anytime, and we'll read them off on the next podcast. The first question comes from Toonday, and he asks, "What is your favorite snack to have while gaming?" Mine are
Ooh.
chocolate chip cookies.
I got a quick answer for this. I don't eat while I'm gaming, so like I don't eat anything while I'm playing video games because
You're not a
it's
fan
that,
of the greasy controllers?
well, there's that, and also like I don't know, like I just need a certain level of focus that like if I'm trying to eat and then clean off my hands and then play, I can't do that. It throws me off.
I'm actually really similar to that. I've always had a problem with anything I have to touch and eat, like because I sweat when I'm gaming, and so anything you touch is going to leave even more residue on your hands. And if it's chips, it's going to leave just crumbs and powder and stuff on your hands. If it's cookies, it's going to leave crumbs. And so like I've started to do the whole party cup thing, and I'll fill up a party cup with pretzels, or I'll fill it up with chips or something. And so while I'm gaming, I just have to touch the cup real quick. I'll be at a pause screen or a cut scene, and I'll just pour some of the chips or pretzels in my mouth, and then I'll put it down and I'll continue gaming. Like that is what I've done. And so my preferred snack for gaming is pretzels. Like that's the easiest one because it leaves the least amount of residue anyways. But in cups, you can fit a shitload of pretzels in there because they're so small.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of neurotic like that a little bit. I used to not be able to eat while I played games, but not only that, when TV shows were on, I didn't like breaking the focus.
Yeah.
I would eat during the commercials and totally like wait, 12 minutes to eat whatever was in front of me.
Yeah.
That said, I've gotten over that. I now eat perfectly fine during TV shows. But it's still the thing of like pausing my game and picking something up. I do have a pregame food. My pregame food, and it's a carryover from earlier in this year, is I was really big on getting Taco Bell before I did a major gaming session. And that's because I'd go and get those Taco Bell boxes. I got them every day. I got them like twice a day, trying to win the PS4. Never worked, and then I got an addiction. And that stopped lately. I'm down 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. Thank you,
Nice.
video games.
Nice.
Yeah, but if I'm going for anything, it's that Frito burrito, the $1 one. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, those are really good. Have you had the new chicken thing, like
Oh
chicken
my
grillers? Like, there's 4 new chicken grillers from Taco Bell. There's like a
That might be
Chipotle one. There's like a spicy ranch
Oh, do you
one.
mean-
There's a
Oh yeah, I had those a while ago. I think the new thing by us is the sriracha quesarito.
oh yeah, those were here several months ago too. So
Oh,
I've had
really?
those too.
How about the mini crunch wraps?
Yep, I had
Oh, those are awesome.
They just phased those out here. They were like $1, and I was
Yeah.
I was buying them like 4 or 5 at a time, and I would eat like 1 or 2 for a meal, then I would save 2 or 3 more for another meal later. Like those are. If you guys can't tell, we have a Taco Bell addiction on this podcast. Like besides Mountain
Just
Dew,
those two.
Right.
just us. We're both on your
Yeah, just
other
those
side.
two.
Other side.
There
Yeah,
we go.
there we go. We're both
Yeah.
over there. Yeah, there you go. All right, we do have a question now. A few of them actually coming in from Mr. J Moonshine. He asked, or I would assume he, because it is Mr. Do you play any MMOs, or are you more of a single player gamer?
I greatly enjoy co-op, but if it comes to between MMO and single player, I'll probably go for single player because most MMOs are very monotonous and grindy to me. And I know that might sound amazing since I really love Destiny, but like I can get it. It's the gameplay. I can really get into Destiny because I can jump around. I'm shooting. It's first-person shooter. I really enjoy that, and that meshing of MMO and first-person is really fun to me. That's why I went crazy for oh my god, what was that game from it was a long time ago. It was literally posed as a MMO first-person shooter. It started with a D. Can't remember the name of it.
Deception or fuck? I know what you're talking about.
It had a weird name, but yeah, somebody go. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm normally gonna say I'm not an MMO guy.
Yeah.
Generally, I got into Destiny, love doing Destiny, and I've slowly been getting into more multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
For instance, every day for the past 3 or 4 days I've been playing Helldivers, and I am so into that and the community and all of that. So I might be getting more into this. That said, if I had to choose between one of the two, I'm going to go single-player experience because I feel like you get more thorough and well-thought-out experiences with better gameplay, and that might just be because that's how video games started, and we're slowly moving into putting better gameplay on MMOs. But until that happens, single-player is where I'm at.
Yeah. Were you talking about Dust 514?
No, it didn't start with a D. I was thinking about Diesel when I said D. It's H. It's called Huxley, and I remember it was revealed in 20. I don't know if it came out in 2010, but it felt like it was revealed earlier than that. And it was strictly MMO, first-person shooter. You had a lot of customization. Everyone knows I really like customization. You could be like an alien race, subhuman race, et cetera, et cetera. So I got so hype over that, and then it just kind of disappeared. So I never got to play it. But there you go.
I've put a lot of time in World of Warcraft. I haven't really lately. It's been about 2 years since I've played it. I typically go on binge playthroughs. So, I'll play it for about a month and I'll put in several hundred hours, and then I won't play it again for years. So I've done that 3 times now. So I the next time a big expansion launches, I'll probably do that. But this last one it didn't really appeal to me in the way that I really wanted to jump back in. It kind of did there for a little bit, but not enough. I am looking forward to jumping back into Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. I might do that this summer, whenever there's not as many games coming out, because I did play that for about 3 weeks and I really enjoyed it, but I didn't have any friends to play it with. And so when you're playing an MMO, you typically have to have at least people you play with, and I hadn't met anybody really, and I wasn't playing with any friends, and so I just gave up on it. So I may do that whenever the Heaven's Ward DLC launches or whatever, which I believe is in June. But so I am, for all intents and purposes, a single-player gamer. I will absolutely choose a single-player game before I will an MMO.
What about H1Z1? Aren't you big on that at the moment?
Yeah, but I haven't played it in 2 weeks. So
okay.
Every time they launch an update, there's even more bugs, and they have to fix those bugs. And so they launched an update last week, which fucking changed everything around on us, and so we decided not to play it, and then they just launched another update which I think may have fixed everything, so I may get back into it. But it's easy to tell what kind of games I like when you look at my top lists, the Tales games, The Last of Us, Final Fantasy, BioShock. Those games, they're all single player, very story driven games,
right?
And so that is what I will absolutely choose. So then next question comes from Jake, and he asked if Final Fantasy Type 0... Wait, is this a question? Yeah, okay. Final Fantasy Type 0 sells successfully... Well, I couldn't find a question mark. Sells successfully, do you think we will see more PSP and Vita games get ported to PS4? I would love to see Patapon, the PSP Silent Hills games, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, and the Third Birthday on PS4.
Third Birthday? Oh man, I haven't heard of that in a long time.
I don't know. I hadn't really considered that. I would, you would kind of think that maybe if it sells well, that they would look into doing something like that. But I think in this case, they can't use that because people were not buying it for Type 0. People were buying it for Final Fantasy 15's demo. Like
Right.
that's what the
Well-
sales are going to be based on, or going to show that people were excited for that game. I don't know. Interesting thought though.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
PSP is getting a revival anytime soon, unfortunately.
No.
Which makes me sad. But what were you saying, Miles?
I'm just agreeing with you mainly. Like, I would love to see Patapon come back. I'm not gonna like scream about it like Greg Miller, but that'd be cool because
Like Greg
Patapon was
Miller.
fun. He screams about Patapon.
Yeah, he cries about it too. I would love to see John d'Arc or whatever. Joan of Arc,
Yeah,
that game. That was a strategy RPG on PSP. And
Oh,
I played
yeah.
the crap out of that game. That'd be fun. But yeah.
Do we
Next
want to do
question.
Stephanie's? Because we never got to it last week.
Sure.
Yeah, we can. So what do you think what console do you think is leading in sales? From
Easy.
Stefani.
Easy.
Gwen Stefani. Yeah, this is an easy question. I don't even know how it's a question, honestly. Like, that's not to slight the person who asked the question,
Yeah.
but it's just like every month we hear PlayStation 4 is still leading in sales. PlayStation 4 is still leading in sales. PlayStation 4 is still leading in sals.
Nintendo 3DS.
So it's just like, dude, it's about to outsell the 3DS too.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. Like, 3DS has been stuck in the 30 millions for how long now? And the PS4 is already almost at that.
Well, the question is, what is going to? Is it? What is going to? I
What
don't
do you
know.
think is leading in sales?
Oh, okay.
That's
well,
it. Just is
That's a
leading.
PS4.
Yeah.
you think right now, at the second, PS4 is the leading?
As current generation consoles, yeah.
Since we're not
Wii U,
slap betting, I'm gonna
Xbox
say
One,
yes.
and PS4. Out of those three, PS4 is destroying.
Okay. Well, yeah, of course. Out of those, I was thinking is
Out of the handheld consoles,
3DS.
handheld consoles, 3DS is slaughtering the Vita. But I think 3DS would still be winning the console wars if it was brought into current gen consoles.
No, I think that is current gen. Actually, I think that was the beginning to current gen because the Wii and DS were in the same generation.
Handhelds are never going to be considered current generation. They're never going to be. You can't argue that point.
Generations are time spans. It's
No,
not
they're
a matter
not.
of technology.
No, they're not. Like, there are
Because-
different arguments for generations. It's not only time spans. What isn't it like the Sega Saturn's considered a different one than Super Nintendo or something like that? There's one console, or Genesis, Sega Genesis.
I would have to look. I'm not sure.
But the generational gap or generations is it's an arbitrary way of differentiating which consoles are which or in which generation. There's no set in stone way of saying that. Everybody has their own way of measuring it. Sometimes it's by years, sometimes it's by processing power, sometimes it's about graphics, like all that stuff.
All right. According to various sources, supposedly Wikipedia, it says that the 8th generation started with the 3DS, then went Vita, then Wii U, PS4, Xbox One.
According to Wikipedia.
According to Wikipedia. So as much as you trust those sources, which is, once again, this is all a very technical and meta argument, none of which really seemingly matter.
Yeah.
But PlayStation 4 is leading.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 is the leading home console system, and they're going to continue to be for a very long time. Who knows what we'll see at E3 that may turn the tides. It kind of helped. It gave Xbox the bump, and PS4, I think, needs to start showing something.
Yeah.
This is all I'm going to say on this topic. Do you all know who John Cena is?
Yes.
Okay, well, this is Sony. Do, 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 do.
Okay, I don't know him that well.
Oh, okay. That's like the thing he does when he beats somebody. He like his catchphrase is "You can't see me," and he does this, and they play his theme music. So
Right.
PS4. Okay. No,
Oh.
Kind of. It's a long shot.
Oh.
it worked. If you knew what I was referencing.
I guess. Okay, so then Jake asked, "Are you guys going to play Neverwinter on Xbox One?"
If
Are
it's free,
I'm not. I'm going to be playing a lot of Bastion. That's my game to review, but I'm sure someone will.
Yeah. I will be playing it probably. Eventually. I don't know if I'll play it right away, but it looks like it's a pretty good game. So, but I'm not gonna guarantee it and be wrong or lie to anybody about it. So, but yeah.
yeah, I'll say maybe for right now, since I don't even have an Xbox One yet.
Yeah, in some time you might.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay, so we got another question, and it said, "Are you guys going to play Elder Scrolls Online?" I kind of forgot about that one.
Go ahead.
I kind of forgot about that one. I already said it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Audrey is. I'm pretty sure because she's big Elder Scrolls, and she says that she needs something to do on her PS4 when she gets it, and she's, there's not a ton of games looking down the road until Fallout comes out. But I think that's going to be the case. Is we're going to have people playing it.
If they let me if they give me a trial, like a free trial first, like I know it's free to play now, as in like you can buy it once and then never have to pay for it anymore.
Yeah.
But I need to give it a trial first, like because I fall into the hole with all MMOs. It's like, oh, this looks great, like wow, I did that, and I played it for I bought it, played it for 2 days, and I was like, I really don't enjoy this.
Yeah.
And just like Bloodborne, I played it for 2 days, and I was like, yeah. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you on that, Miles. I'm hoping for a free weekend or something. Try out the game this weekend. If you like it, it'll be free to play if you purchase it. Something like that. Final Fantasy's done that several times, and
I'm sure that they will. It's a great business model.
Oh yeah, give them a demo. It's like a demo. Try it out for a weekend or a full game and play as much as you want, and then take it away from them. Just like drugs, you give them a shot of the cocaine, they'll come back.
Right. Yeah. And I played a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online during the betas and whatnot. In the first, if I was just playing the first couple of hours, I'd absolutely be hooked.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next question.
Yeah. This one is from Dreadlord Cthulhu. He says,
I like the name.
What are the worst games you've played ever?
I don't remember what the worst games I've ever played are, and there's probably good reason for that.
Yeah.
I know what mine is because it's currently the worst review on the site. So it's really easy to remember. But I have two, and they're both very low. Constancy, which was a puzzle game, and the one that's the worst review on the site at the moment is HTOL #NIQ : the Firefly Diary. And it was just, it was a bad game. It was another puzzle game. For some reason, puzzle games either really stick with me or don't stick with me. But this one was almost an escort mission throughout because everyone loves escort missions. And it was a slow plotting control, and the puzzles really were common sense, and you would just die a million times. There was a trophy for dying 1,000, 10,000, 100, I don't know, 100 times. And yeah, don't play that. It's on the PlayStation Vita. Don't get it if it ever goes on sale. It's not worth it. It looks beautiful. It sounds great. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Mine, I'm sure there are more really bad games I've played, but the two that come to mind are one I reviewed for our site, Drakengard 3. That game was just fucking broken. Graphically, too many things would happen on the screen, and it would just fucking stop. Skip, 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 skip.
Yeah.
Horrible graphics. So that was really bad. And then besides that, have you guys played Deadly Premonition?
No, but I've heard of it.
I played that game for maybe an hour, and it was no. What am I doing? Why am I playing this game? Some websites actually gave it some okay reviews, but if this tells you anything, IGN gave it a 2. So it's
right.
There was the people who, I don't know, it's a really bad game. It's a really bad game. I was not a fan of it whatsoever. However, I do know some people who did enjoy it, but it's not a good game. All right, we have one last question, and then we got to wrap everything up. Jake asks, what will it take for Sony to let us play PlayStation 1 classics on PlayStation 4? I'm on a retro binge. I think they're going to put them on PS Now.
Yeah, they have to.
I think that is the way they're going with PlayStation 4, honestly. And since it's going to be coming to all devices, basically, that you could play PS Now on, it feels like they're putting every game that you could download on PS3 on PS Now, and they're just going to eventually move all PS1, PS2, PS3 games on there, and eventually PS4 too.
Yeah, and that makes sense because, honestly, the PlayStation 3 worked the way it did work was because it had a PlayStation 2 emulator in it, which would also play PlayStation 1 games. PlayStation 4 doesn't have that. You can't play PlayStation 3 games unless they're built natively for the system, like Grand Theft Auto or Last of Us and these remastered versions. So realistically, you're not going to be able to play it unless they decide to go back and recode everything, unless it's through PlayStation Now.
Yeah, and Sony is investing a lot in Gaikai and PlayStation Now. Like, that service is stabilizing as we speak. You know, it's getting better and better. Like I said at the very beginning of the podcast, that I played it this weekend for a good 6 or 7 hours, and it was perfect for me. And that was with, Final Fantasy 13, which is 10 times better looking than Metal Gear Solid 1. You know, like, those games are going to be easier to stream on PlayStation Now, but they want to make sure that the network's there. They want to make sure that they can handle everything. And so, eventually I think they're all going to come, just not yet.
Right.
Miles, anything?
I struggled with understanding why backwards compatibility was taken out of consoles back when they first started doing that.
Yeah.
So PS3, because I ended up buying a $600 PS3 so I could have backwards compatibility.
Yep.
It was like years after they came out, so those have gone up in value. But I don't understand why they took it out, but at the same time I don't personally care, because even though I'm like always thinking, oh wow, there's those games I didn't play way back in the day, like Digital Devil Saga, I never got to finish that. I put them into my console, or I play them by other means, and and I end up being like, well, this is fun, but it looks atrocious.
Yeah.
And like, graphics are not everything, but I can't stick with a game if someone's face looks like they just got like smeared somehow. So
yeah.
Right.
All right, let's wrap this up. Lou's got to get out of here pretty soon.
Oh,
within minutes.
Let's try and do this real quick.
We game releases this week, which is where we end the podcast every week. On PlayStation 4, you've got Axiom Verge, MLB 15 The Show, Paperbound, RBI Baseball 15, Rack and Ruin, Tugiden Kiwami, and Woe Dave. On PS3, you've got Anna Extended Edition, MLB 15 The Show, Tabletop Cricket. I don't know how you do that. Ultimate Actions Triple Pack, which are Square Enix games, and Ultimate Stealth Triple Pack, which are also Square Enix games. I'm not sure which are which, what are included in each one. On Vita, you've got Doodle Kingdom, MLB 15 The Show, Run Sackboy Run, and Tugiden Kiwami.
All right, on Xbox One, you're looking at Neverwinter and RBI Baseball 15. On Xbox 360, you're also getting Ultimate Action Triple Pack and Ultimate Stealth Triple Pack.
For the Wii U, you have Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. Really pander to your audience. And 3DS, you have Story of Seasons.
All right. And for PC, the list is kind of short this week. Paperbound, The Sims 4, Get to Work, Jox Rogue, I don't know how to pronounce that properly.
No
Void Expanse, and Finding Teddy 2.
So that wraps up episode 77 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. We record it every week on Tuesday, as I said at the beginning. We start around 2:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Normally it's about 3 when we get started. We stream it at twitch.tv/MongPlays. And then after that, I produce the podcast, and I get it up on all the iTunes and Podbean, all the different podcast services, and on YouTube as the video. You could find us on Twitter at mong.com, all spelled out, MONGDOTCOM. And then on YouTube at youtube.com/user/Mong Network. You could also find our Mong Plays, which is where we put up all of our gaming live streams and our Let's Play series. That is a different channel on YouTube. And then on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram by just searching for Middle of Nowhere Gaming. And then, of course, check out the website, middleofnowheregaming.com, where you can find all the latest editorials, news, reviews, podcasts, all the good stuff. And then we are all on Twitter. I am at Osborne_2009. Lou is
at Lou Cantaldi.
And Miles is
at Furious Milk.
So thank you guys for joining me again. And we actually finished with Lou on the podcast.
Yeah, this is really weird. I don't know what to do now. I think I just disappeared.
Just put your hands up and be hip-hoppy.
They told me to do that. I have to,
Wow, that's awful.
Mong!
Mong!
Keep it milky, folks.
Mong.